Clifton Forge, Virginia is located in the Allegheny Highlands. The region, named for the beautiful Allegheny Mountains, is nestled at the southern tip of the Shenandoah Valley. Clifton Forge is home to the Allegheny Highlands Arts and Crafts Center, Douthette State Park, the C&O Railroad Historical Society, and another historical gem, the historic Masonic Theater.
Well, I have a long history with the Masonic Theater. This was a gathering place for us when we were young.
When they showed movies on Saturday, my dad and mom would drop us off here with a quarter.
This is where my first love and I first kind of met.
We'd come down here and stay all day on Saturdays and just watch movies and eat popcorn, and hot dogs was 15 cents a piece or 2 for a quarter, and sodas were a nickel, and that was a big day.
Well, I've lived in Clifton all my life, and the theater has always been a big center of my life.
You made a lot of friends here, a lot of people you wouldn't deal with or associate with from other walks of life. We'd all meet you at the theater, and we'd all enjoy the entertainment here together.
The Masonic Theater is an architectural treasure, a 3-story Beaux-Arts brick building with plastered facade, a cove-ceiling lobby and original performance hall with stage and balcony.
The most impressive thing about this theater is all the details that are still in excellent shape. The plaster work is unbelievable. Every room has the original hardwood floors. The facade, the detailing of the bricks, and all this makes it a really refined building. I think we're very lucky that all of this is in really good shape.
We don't quite build buildings as well as we used to, and one of the amazing things about this building is that it was built to last. There's moments of discovery in this building that have been really amazing for us. We spent a lot of time getting to know the building and surveying it and measuring every square inch of it, and everything was quite surprising. There's pieces of structure in this building that I'm not sure we could accomplish today.
The theater once served the residents of Clifton Forge and surrounding areas by providing exciting entertainment in the form of vaudeville shows, silent movies, and talking picture shows. The building was constructed in 1905, and throughout its history hosted Western movie icons like Lash LaRue, Gene Autry, Cowboy Bob Steele, and Roy Rogers.
My father, Pat Murphy, lived in and around Clifton Forge for a lot of his life, and he used to tell the story of being here at the theater and seeing Lash LaRue, the cowboy star, actually ride his horse on stage.
Other stars made the Masonic Theater a part of their performance legacy as well, including Legends Burl Ives, the Drifters, and the world-famous Count Basie Orchestra.
I tell people sometimes I travel that Count Basie was in Clifton Forge, and they said, well, what do you do, stop by to get a hot dog? But Count Basie and Duke Ellington and some of the other great artists were right here in Clifton Forge, right at this theater.
Steeped in local history, the historic Masonic Theater remained the oldest continuously operating theater in the Commonwealth of Virginia until closing its doors temporarily in 1987.
I grew up in this theater. My mom and dad ran it as a movie theater all through the 80s until it closed. And so I grew up, I learned to walk, holding onto the back of the seats.
I didn't start getting involved in the theater as for performing arts until after it was closed down as a movie theater. And then I decided the children needed something to do, so I started the Stonewall Children's Theater. And our first production was Brigadoon.
I have 2 sons that have both acted here at the Masonic Theater. My one son was a dead body in 10 Little Indians and fell from the closet. And my other son, the younger one, was the voice of God because his voice changed before any of the other 11-year-olds.
The community definitely gets into the live productions here.
We did a play Brigadoon and had a packed house for all 3 shows.
When they closed the theater, back when they stopped showing movies, it just broke my heart. And the whole community felt the loss of something very important to this community.
In 1990, the theater reopened under the direction of Apple Folks of America, presenting shows highlighting performing arts of the Appalachian Highlands, such as the Virginia Opry, the Virginia Junior Opry, and the innovative STARS program for challenged youth and adults. In 2003, Apple Folks generously donated the Masonic Theater to the town of Clifton Forge. while continuing to offer performances to the community. Today, the theater stands as a testament to the vision of earlier citizens of the area who sought to foster entertainment opportunities and community fellowship.
The 100th birthday party for the town of Clifton Forge was held here on the stage of the Masonic Theater. And we had a cake, and we sang Happy Birthday to Clifton Forge, and the mayor and town council recognized and awarded certificates to the employees of Clifton Forge for so many years' service. That was a big thing, I think, and there's just so much more that the Masonic Theater could have been used for, and I believe now is going to be.
Once the theater has been restored to its former grandeur, it can again serve the entertainment and community meeting needs of Clifton Forge and the Allegheny Highlands.
While the upper levels of this building are really refined, we're going to have a more intimate performance space in the lower level. And the lower level will be more of a coffee shop-like atmosphere for small performances of, say, 50 or 60.
It's a space with a lot of potential for different kinds of performances and different kinds of uses.
The concessions will also be downstairs. Additionally, the dressing rooms and bathrooms will be in the lower level, but those spaces will still be completely accessible. You know, part of the strategy for this project is to make the building completely handicap accessible for both the general public in the front of the house, but also for the performers in the back of the house. There'll be a service elevator that gets the performers from the lower level dressing rooms to the stage level. The main level of the building will be the primary entrance through the historic lobby, in which the ticket booth will be returned to its original location. One of the things that struck us most in visiting performances here during the winter months is that the back rows of seats were piled up with everyone's coats. So we're going to be able to have all of the conveniences that one would expect in contemporary theater. One of the things that the theater didn't previously have on the first floor that we'll be adding is a sound and light lock. And the benefit to the theater goer there is that they'll be buffered from distractions of street noise and train noise and anything that might interrupt the performance. One of the unfortunate things that happened to this building when it was adapted for film was that the orchestra pit was covered over. As part of the renovation, we're going to be able to open back up the orchestra pit. We'll have an orchestra pit for between 27 and 30 musicians, so you could imagine a theatrical performance in front of a full orchestra. One of the really nice things that we're able to keep is the historic wood stage floor. There's a heart pine floor that's been there for more than 100 years and has seen a whole range of performances in this building and will continue to survive and see 100 years worth of new performances. Part of the renovation to the stage is going to include state-of-the-art mechanized rigging, so we can move sets around. You know, 105 years ago when this building was built, the mechanisms or the machine of the theater was really modeled after boat building, so there were ropes and wood planks that people walked on. Obviously, for contemporary theater, we're going to replace all of that with mechanized line sets with a steel floor that's safe for people to walk on. So the balcony is going to include offices for the theater foundation and visiting troops, but in addition, there'll be a place of memory from the historically segregated entrance. One of the things that makes this building more than just a theater is that the upper level of the building contains a grand hall that was formerly the Masonic Lodge, or the meeting room for the Masons. As part of the renovation, we're going to be able to use that grand space as what we call the community room. People will be able to use it for wedding receptions and family gatherings.
There are just so many opportunities that we can create as a result of redoing the theater.
To build a Beaux-Arts building in rural Virginia in 1905 was really an ambitious undertaking. And there's a really beautiful front facade of this building. You know, it's probably the largest building and the first thing you see as you come into town. Over the years, a number of the really beautiful Beaux-Arts details on the front of the building have been removed. As part of the rehabilitation, we're going to be able to replace the acanthus leaves on the cornice. We're going to be able to take down and restore the marquee. All of that really beautiful pressed tin metal work will be refurbished. All of the glass panels will be restored and the lighting will be replaced, and there'll be a grand entrance to this building.
When you think about underground Clifton Forge and what it was, what it could potentially be, you know, this building sits right next to the creek. It has, you know, almost a direct access to that. It's really situated in the heart of town, and it has a lot of potential to influence the development of the town in a positive way.
Now, we need your help to achieve this dream. It is our turn to set the stage for future generations, and dedicated community support is the key.
I did interviews with approximately 70 community members. The enthusiasm, the energy, the interest in the theater was phenomenal.
I'm going to continue working with the theater because I want to see it restored to its glory. And I want to be part of putting on more live theater productions here and see the theater used for its full capacity.
The level to which this building has been maintained and cared for over the last century is really a testament to this community's reverence for it. And the renovation will really ensure that this building will continue to be a treasure for this community.
There's so much excitement that this is going to become a vibrant part of the community again, that it's encouraging, and there's just a lot of support for it.
To see a group of people from the community to come together and say, this is ours. We have to do something with this. We owe it to our community.
The president's wife once said it takes a village to raise a child, and I think it takes a community to rebuild a theater.
There are lots of good people working very hard in the whole Allegheny Highlands to tap into the tourism that's possible here. And I know again that the Masonic Theater is going to be a big part of that overall revitalization for the Allegheny Highlands.
If you're going to grow, you have to grow outside of your own household. What we need is more people coming to the community. And what's any better than to have a live theater?
This building has been here for more than 100 years. It's a gift to the community. It's a gift that it's still standing. And I think it is our duty to bring it back to life and to make sure that it continues to serve the community.
Let's join together to keep the doors of the historic Masonic Theater open, to honor those who have come before, and to provide a gift to those who are the future of the Highlands.